welcome to Emerald Cottage. My name's Jill and I'm coming to you from Berkshire in the south of England. I'm actually coming to you from my craft room in my house in Berkshire in the south of England. Berkshire is really close to London and in fact is home to one of the royal residences, which is Windsor Castle, if you don't already know that. But yes, we're only about half an hour away from London. Having said that, we don't go into London very much, but we were there a couple of weeks ago. I think I said to you last time, we went to see Simple Minds in concert, which was brilliant, but that's by the by. Today is the 7th of April. It's a Sunday morning. Everyone else is still in bed apart from my middle one, which has gone to work. And it's quite a nice day today. It's been very showery weather lately. Typical April weather, really, I would say. Just typical April showers. I think everybody's fed up with the rain, really. It's just been wet, wet, wet all the time, really. So very hard to plan anything. We went to a barbecue on Easter Friday, on Good Friday, which was, what was that, about 10 days ago now? And it was quite a nice day. We were outside, coats on, but we were outside chatting. There was about 20 of us. And we all sat down to eat. Barbecue was ready, all the salads were out, all the bread was out. Sitting down with our plates of food, rain came down. Absolutely torrential rain. We had to grab everything and run inside. Just really bad timing. Just typical, isn't it? But we had a really nice day. It was a really nice day just with our friends. Yeah, the rest of Easter was very quiet and calm. Didn't really do too much. Just done lots of crafting. And I should say, if you're new here, this is a podcast about crochet, knitting, cross stitch, sewing, and any other crafty bits and bobs that I get up to in my time. So with that being said, let's jump straight into finished projects or finished objects. And my first finished object I'm wearing, and that is my Triantan Shawl. So as you can see, it's a lovely open work kind of lacy shawl. The pattern was from this issue of Crochet Now magazine. Sorry, this issue of Crochet Now magazine. I think it's issue 52 it says, which is quite an old one actually now. It's a couple of years old. No, I tell a lie, it's about 4 years old because I think I said to you last time I was working on this 4 years ago and this was my Cracking the Whip project. So I've got a segment called Cracking the Whip, which is cracking as in getting done, the whip, the work in progress. So Cracking the Whip, which is where I take a whip from however long ago that has been languishing in my project bags. And I make a concentrated effort to get that done for the next podcast. And with last time's Cracking the Whip was this shawl, and I finished it, so I'm really chuffed with it. It's super soft and cozy. The pattern was really easy. It was a 4-row repeat, I want to say. Is that right? 4-row repeat? No, 3-row repeat. It was really easy to remember, and once you get into it, it was just, it flew off the hook really. So I don't know why it took so long to kind of, pick it up and get it finished. I think what happened was I started it, put it in a bag, tidied it away into a drawer, and then it just lay there. And then we moved house. And then I moved house 3 years ago, so it's sort of languished in a drawer since then. And I just came across it a few weeks ago. You can see from the pattern that there's meant to be a border on it. This border here. And I haven't done a border, I've just let mine be a natural edge. You can see there, there's no border. I'll take it off and show you in its full entirety. I'm really pleased with it, I love it. So it's fairly big. Really chuffed with it. The wool, I can't actually tell you what yarn it was at all because I've lost the ball band and I don't remember what I was crocheting with 4 years ago. I think I said to you last time that I only remember the hook size because I managed to find a photograph with the project and my hook on it, which was really lucky. It's lovely and soft, so I think there's some kind of possibly merino element to it because it's so soft. It feels quite kind of fibrous in the way that wool does. But yes, I didn't do the border for several reasons, one of which being I was playing yarn chicken and I won. Look how much I had left at the end of the project, just that little ball. Really pleased with that. That was so exciting. And that's why I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to make it any smaller. I didn't want to stop and guess how much was going to be needed for the border. I didn't really like the border and I just couldn't be bothered. So I just thought, no, I'm going to make it borderless, and I'm just so happy with it. Just look at that pattern, isn't it really pretty? It's almost like upside down dragonflies, isn't it? But yeah, I love that. I just love it. So that's my first finished object. Really pleased with that. My second finished object is just this little guy. Look how cute is he? It's a little Easter bunny. He's so sweet. And he was a pattern out of, oh, what was it now? Was it this magazine? Let me just check and see if it was this magazine. Yes, it was this magazine. So this is also Crochet Now, which is the up-to-date issue, which is issue 105. And if memory serves, this is the current issue. And in it, there's a pattern for this lovely spring wreath. And I thought that was really pretty, just lovely spring colours. But I decided just to do the Easter bunny, largely so that I could do a nice Instagram post at Easter time with an Easter bunny. But I love him, he's just so cute. Look, oh, isn't he lovely? Just really sweet. Oh, his little face. So he was super fast to make up because obviously he's tiny. The feet and arms were super fiddly because there were only 5 stitches, so they were really fiddly to do. And you didn't even have to stuff them, they were so small. But yeah, he worked up super fast. He's just got a little bit of embroidered nose and some safety eyes. And he's just done in ricorumi yarn. I think it was, the colour was, definitely tells you in the pattern. You should be a bit more prepared, Jill. It was colour number 22, which is powder. It's called powder. And it's just this lovely kind of, it's not quite cream, it's more sort of pinky cream almost. But yeah, that's my second finished object, Mr. Bunny. He's so cute. It's called Hoppy the Bunny. Let's put him next to the camera for now. There we are. In fact, no, let's put him up here so you can see him during the podcast. No, you stay there, Hoppy. You just keep sit there and keep an eye on me. So that was Hoppy the Bunny. My next finished object, it's kind of not quite finished as such, but I'm counting it in finished objects because it is one of my cross-stitch projects, which is a year-long project, and I finished the next part of it. Well, the next part of it to me. So it's this project here, which is called Stitcher's Paradise. It's going to focus. And so far I've done 4 parts, and the most recent part was this bit here, which is this lovely little pin cushion. Is it focusing? I think it is. Yeah, really sweet little pin cushion. You can see the needle in it there as well, and obviously the border around the edge as well. This is a stitch along that's in World of Cross Stitching magazine. I'm very into magazines at the minute. World of Cross Stitching magazine. Excuse me, let me just have a sip of tea. I'm having my tea in my Holland mug, which my lovely son bought for me when he was in Holland last year. Cheers. Yes, World of Cross Stitching magazine, and it's by Durene Jones, and it's, I think must be 12 parts, so I think it's year long, crochet along. Let me see if I can find where it is in here. Let's have a look. Part 62. So yeah, so you can see here, that's the finished design, all of it. Lovely, isn't it? So I've just done these bits, this bit and this bit. And that was catching up to March. I haven't done April yet, so I'm slightly behind. But April will be this bit here, which is these like bobbiny things for floss, I suppose they are. So that'll be part 5. And I would like to get this one done before part 6 comes out, which is kind of any day now, really. Yeah, so that's that one. Excuse me, I'm just going to put these things away as I go along to save me doing it later. And then my next finished object, which is my last finished object, is similar to the previous one in that it's kind of a finish but not quite a finish. So again, it's a year-long stitch along. which is this Hans Christian Andersen one by Cloudsfactory. I'll link it all below. So this is it so far. Oh, that's blowing out. This is it so far. So far we've got the Ugly Duckling, the Snow Queen, and Thumbelina, which just makes me want to sing Thumbelina dance, Thumbelina sing, all the times I've been singing that all week. I don't know if any of you know that song. It was by Danny Kaye, I think it was, or something. Anyway, I remember singing it at school. But yes, so I've just finished Thumbelina. Let me just fold her up so I can show you just Thumbelina. There. Really sweet, isn't it? So you can see that she's tiny compared to the insects and the frogs. And again, that's a year-long stitch along. Oops, not focusing very well. A year-long stitch along. And again, I'm behind in it. I've done up to March now, but I haven't done April yet. So I need to crack on and get April done before April's over, or I'll be behind again. I don't want to be behind again. So that's my other finished object. So that's all my finished objects. My next section is my whips, my works in progress. And my next whip, or the first whip that I want to show you, is so nearly a finished object. Oh, it's so close. So it is the shawl with no name, because she hasn't given it a name yet, which is a pattern test that I'm doing for Sylvia Whitty of Whitty Crafts Design. Now I'm saying Whitty, so I'll put her name on the screen here. She's Sylvia spelled with a W, so I guess she may be Polish or something. So it's Sylwia, but obviously that's pronounced Sylvia. So the W is pronounced with a V. And her surname is Whitty, so Witty. So I don't know if that should be Vitty, maybe. So it should be Sylvia Vitty, maybe. Vitty Crafts Design. But anyway, that's her name. And this is the shawl so far. It's a beast. A lovely beast, but a beast. There we are, look at that. What do you think? What do you think of the colours? Aren't they glorious? I love the colours in this. So I picked the colours myself. As I said, it's a pattern test, and the really important part of the pattern, which I discovered kind of by accident, was that every second row is the same colour. And in her sample, she has every second colour being black, which initially I did every second colour being grey, and it really wasn't working because the black makes the other colours really pop, you see. So it's this kind of spike, I can't say too much about it because it's a pattern test, but it's this spike stitch design, which just, it's just gorgeous. It gives a really, really squishy fabric. Oh, I love it. It's so cuddly. As you can see, I haven't done my ends. Yeah, I've got quite a few ends to sew in. So I need to get that done. So all I've got left to do is the border. I finished it. I finished the last round of it last night. Started doing some ends last night, but then I ran out of time and had to go to bed. And I've just got the border left to do. And the border, which I'll show you the pattern front page. The border looks like this here. So it's like big spikes almost, in keeping with the spike stitch. So yeah, so that, you can see that the black in her design that makes her colours really pop as well. And again, I played Yarn Chicken. So the pattern called for a size 5 hook and any DK or light worsted weight yarn, and I'm using just Stylecraft Special DK, so I'm using it in pomegranate. Let's see, get this to focus. Pomegranate, magenta, which looks very pink on there, but it's magenta. Fondant, which looks very white. Fondant. Proper purple, which is this one here, and then the red one is actually a King Cole Pricewise yarn in cranberry, but the rest of them are all Stylecraft Special DK. So pomegranate, magenta, fondant, and proper purple, and then the black is just Stylecraft Special DK black, but you could use any black yarn, I guess, for that. It's all from Stash, apart from the black. For some reason I couldn't find any black yarn in my stash at all. I'm sure there is some somewhere, but I couldn't put my hands on it, so I had to go and buy some, so that was slightly annoying. But yes, I only had a small amount of the King Cole red left, or the King Cole cranberry left, and I got the King Cole cranberry yarn. Can't get my words out. I got the King Cole cranberry yarn in a kit, the kit that I bought for my coronation cowl, which is a few videos back, I bought it from a kit from my local yarn shop, Stitchery Do, and they don't actually stock Pricewise DK. What happened was, it was a Sirdar stitch along that she was getting the yarn for, and Sirdar, sorry to be blunt, messed her around, didn't get the kits to her on time to start the cowl, so she had to make up her own kits, and she ordered in this Pricewise wool just for the kits. And then when you if you ran out of wool, you had to go somewhere else to buy it because she didn't have any more of it. So that I wanted to do it from stash, and I had most of a ball of the red left, so I just went ahead with the red. And then the red really was my limiting factor because that's how much I had left. Again, I was playing Yarn Chicken, and again I won, yes. So that was how much I had left after my last row of red, and then I was able to do another row of nearly every colour before I did the border. So it's one that you probably can't really wear like this. It's very blowing out a lot, isn't it? Can't really wear it like this quite so much because it's too bulky, I think. So it's more of a wear it over your shoulders like a traditional shawl, and just let it keep me cosy on a winter's evening. But I love it. It's very thick because of the spike stitch. It's almost like working double, so it is a real yarn eater of a pattern. But it's very, very easy. The first couple of rows I was like, oh, I'm not getting this at all, I can't do it. I'm very much, I wouldn't say I give up, but I do tend to get, oh, I can't do it. And then I'm just like, no, Jill, just persevere, just concentrate on each row at a time, you'll be fine. And I figured, once I figured out where to put the first row of spike stitches, I was away. It was really easy after that. So it's just figuring out where to put the spike stitches. That first row of spike stitches was quite tricky. So yes, I was saying it was a size 5 hook and DK yarn. And she had a gauge measurement in it, but I didn't do a gauge swatch. Not a very good hooker, am I? Sorry, just putting you in focus again. I didn't do a gauge swatch. I'm going to take this off because it's making the light go funny. Didn't do a gauge swatch. That's the third time I've said that now. Consequently, because I'm quite a tight crocheter, when I got to the number of rows that Sylvia got to, my shawl was considerably smaller, and I had to size up quite a lot by doing a lot of extra rows. I mean, a lot of extra rows. So I didn't count my rows actually in the end, but I think I did about an extra 20 rows, which she had 76 rows, so an extra 20 was a quarter extra again, so quite a decent amount. But like I say, I just did it until I ran out of this red, and then I did another round of each colour, and just to give me the right number of stitches to enable me to do the border properly. That was the one kind of gating factor, was being able to do the border properly. So yes, so that is my no name yet shawl, which I'm pattern testing. I think the deadline was something like the 15th, so I'm well within the deadline to get it finished tomorrow. And I've been very good. I've been almost a monogamous crocheter. I've been working constantly on it, hence the not very many other finished crochet objects. But I was determined to get this pattern test done in time for her. And yeah, I managed to do it, so I'm really pleased. Right, so my next work in progress is my simple lace scarf, which has grown a little bit since the last time you saw it. You know, I think it's this top that's making the camera go funny. I might not wear this again for the podcast. Yes, so this is my simple lace scarf, and this is my progress keeper of where I got up to last time. So I've done a fair bit more. Had a few issues where I've had to unknit rows. Haven't had to do a big ripping back exercise again, so that's been quite helpful. Because last time, I don't know if you remember, I had to rip back about that much. And that was, for me, very risky that it might not recover from that and I might have to rip the whole lot out, but I managed to pick up all the stitches, it was okay. And this time I've made very few mistakes. I've had to unknit a few rows here and there, but nothing compared to what I had done last time. So I'm really pleased with that. I mean, again, I said last time, this is going to take me all year. This is very much a pick it up every so often and do a few rows, and I'm very slow. It's like knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. And I've definitely mentioned before that my mum was a really experienced knitter, and she was like knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. Whilst talking about something else and watching TV at the same time. Amazing. Don't know how she did it. I can't do it. But yes, that's my simple lace scarf. So it's coming along, it's growing, it's getting there, and it'll maybe be ready for next winter. So that's that one. I'm also working on my virus scarf, but I think it's got very minimal, sorry, I'm going back to you, very minimal progress since the last time because I've been working on my no-name shawl so much. So this is it, and it's lovely colours. It's Pebble Haze prints in Saltburn, and it's this lovely pinky yellow kind of combination. It'd be quite nice this top actually, wouldn't it? So yeah, so it's coming along. You can see the lovely shell pattern there. Very happy with it. Really like it a lot. Of course, I've forgotten the pattern again, so I'll have to kind of remind myself of that. But yes, very happy with that. So that's my virus shawl. Then I've got my temperature blanket. So my temperature blanket, which I've definitely shown you before. You're probably sick to death of hearing about it, but anyway, this is January. And January is quite blue, which is obviously because it's cold. I'm using, I haven't got it here, I'm using a shade card by Lorette Crafts UK that shows all the temperature, I want to say like increments, is that the right word? Temperature increments. So it shows the temperature increments and the colour I'm using for each increment, if that's the right word. So I'm starting off with a dark blue, that's a dark blue colour, well it's not dark blue, but darker blue for 0 and below, and then I think it's something like 1 to 5 degrees, this is in Celsius, it's this pale blue one, and then 5 to 8 is this sort of aqua colour, and then as we progress up through the sort of early teens, we get into the greens, so it's a bit milder. So this is January. January is quite blue, as you'd expect. Quite a cold month. February is a little bit less blue because it was quite mild in February. So, you know, some blue there, but largely it's quite green. And then this is March, which I've just completed. And March, oops, it's very green. Look at those dark green squares. Haven't quite broken into the, I think it goes up to 16 degrees. I haven't quite got there yet, but I suspect April will have some of those days because it's been quite warm. So that's my March block. So my plan is to do January, February, March. So I need to join these three together. And then so it'll be January, February, March, April, May, June, then July, August, September underneath, and then October, November, December at the very bottom. So it'll be like a rectangle, that shape, of 3 months by 4 months, so it looks like a calendar, a year to view calendar. Oh, and I should say that the temperature increments thing is round 1 is for the low temperature of that day, and then round 2 is for the high temperature of that day. And I'm just joining in Stylecraft Special DK Parchment. These blank ones are because March didn't start until a Thursday, so I couldn't just, I'm doing it like a calendar block where the first 4 days are just like blank because they belong in a different month, but I'm doing the months separately. So does that make sense? It's really hard to describe that. Go and look at your diary and you'll see what I mean. It'll show you that kind of layout of a month. And most of the yarn I'm using is Stylecraft Special DK. The pale blue one, is it going to focus? Is the pale blue one is another Pricewise DK that came with my Coronation Cowl kit. It's a lot of cuts, isn't it? Coronation Cowl kit. The I'm going to get these colours wrong because I haven't got them to hand. The darker blue is Denim, I think, in Stylecraft Specialty K. The kind of minty blue is, I want to say, Aspen, I think. The light green is Spring Green, and the dark green is Kelly Green, and that's all the colours I've used so far. And as I say, I'm joining it in Parchment. So yeah, so that's my temperature blanket coming along nicely. Quite chuffed with that. And then my next whip is another knitting one. How exciting! So I'm knitting. This is funny. An emotional support chicken. So these have been all over the internet. I don't know how it started or who started it or what started it, but the pattern is by the Knitting Tree, and I got it from Ravelry. It's a paid for pattern, so it was about £5, £6, something like that. This is a knitting pattern. When I bought it, there only was a knitting pattern. She's since produced a crochet pattern to produce the same chicken, but I bought the knitting pattern, so I thought, no, I'm not going to buy the crochet one. I'm going to actually knit this thing. So I've just started it last night. I'm making it with this monster of a ball of wool here, which is Women's Institute, soft and smooth, exclusive to Hobbycraft, and it is, where's the weight? Where's the weight? It's 100% acrylic. That must be about 500 grams. I can't see where the weight is on it. Oh, 400 grams, 400 grams. So it's, yeah, big old ball of wool, bigger than my head, look. And when I bought it for two reasons. It's so soft. Oh, it's lovely. And I just was really taken with this gigantic ball of wool. So I thought I'd buy it. Haven't used it for anything before, which is completely pointless. But anyway, I thought I'd do my chicken, a pink chicken, because why not? If I'm going to make a chicken, I can make it whatever colour I want. So it's going to be pink. I've just started it last night. So this is the tail section. So I'll finish off this spike, and then that's like the back end of the chicken, and then the body comes up here with his head being here, if you can imagine that, or her head, I suppose it is. And it's going really well, yeah. So I've learned how to, what is it, wrap and turn? Is that a bog standard knitting term, or has that been made up for this pattern? Wrap and turn. So it's where you slip one stitch from the left to the right, wrap the yarn from the back to the front, and then slip the stitch back again, and then change direction. And I can't quite get my head around what it's actually doing. It's something to do with these not are the decreases? Is that short rows? Is that what that is? Someone tell me what that. I don't understand. I can't get my head around it at all. I'm able to do it, but I don't understand how it's producing the effect it's producing. But anyway, definitely getting better at knitting. I've made fewer mistakes on this. I've only had to unknit one row, so that was progress, I feel. Excuse me, a cup of tea. Oh, it's going cold. I'll have to finish it. So yeah, definitely making progress on my knitting. Quite pleased, and I was going to try and get this piece done before the podcast, but then I thought, no, I'll just wait and do it later. I didn't want to rush it, end up making a mistake that I didn't have to make. So yes, that's my emotional support chicken. There he is. And its yarn is Aran weight yarn. Aran weight? Yeah, Aran weight. And I'm using a 4mm needle. So the pattern called for worsted weight. So I think that's Aran. Can anybody confirm, is that Aran? The pattern called for 4mm needles as well, which is what I'm using. I managed to find those in my stash of knitting needles, which my mum bought me, or not bought me, gave me years ago. So how are we doing for time? That's okay, I think. Right, that's all my whips, I think. Now, cracking the whip section. So, I mentioned earlier that last time's cracking the whip was my Triantan Shawl, which I have finished. I have cracked the whip, yay! this week's, or this episode's Cracking the Whip is going to be my knitted socks. I just grabbed the basket. This kind of green and yellow and black stripe, which I don't actually like. I don't know why I bought it, because I don't like it. And I think I thought I'd get out of stash for these first pair of socks, because I don't anticipate wearing these socks because they're my first ever pair. And actually they're quite tight as well. They're not very stretchy. I don't know if that's normal for socks, but they're not very stretchy at all. Anyway, I finished one, which I'm dead chuffed with actually, because this was the first knitting that I'd picked up in years. And it's the first time I've used short circular, small circular. I'm not sure what you call that. Short circular, I think it's called. And it's certainly the first time I've done heel flap and gusset, is that the I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm such a novice when it comes to knitting. And knitting socks. I even have managed to knit this one. I can just about get it on my foot, but it's not comfortable to wear at all. So I don't think I'm going to wear these. I don't actually wear socks, that's the thing. I tend to wear sandals or just like trainers with little trainer liners. I don't wear proper socks because I don't wear proper boots because my feet get too hot. But I have this thing that I want to crochet, I want to knit socks. But anyway, sock number 2 is nearly done. So I've done the heel. Oops, done the heel. I don't actually remember doing the heel. I remember doing the heel in the first one. That was quite memorable because it was the first time. But the second one I don't remember doing the heel on at all. But obviously I have done it. I've done it at some point. And I need to now, I think I got as far as the point, let me just line these up and see. I'm almost to the point where I need to start decreasing for the toe, and I haven't a clue what to do because I can't remember. So luckily I've got the book, which is on my bookshelf over there somewhere. It's the WinwickMum basic sock pattern, I think it was called, and she has a tutorial online, and it was, I think she did a sock along originally where she did each bit a week, and now it's all kind of melded into one, and she produced a book with all the weeks in it with lots of photographs. So I've got the book, obviously I've got the videos online to help me, so and I've done it before, so I'm hoping that once I start, I think I used this Kitchener thing at the end. So I mean, it's a terrible toe, look at it, it's absolutely shocking. It's just really, come on, focus, it's just really like scruffy looking and square and not very soft. But it's a sock and I knitted it. So yes, so my Cracking the Whip project is this second sock. So I've obviously had really bad second sock syndrome because this has been sat in my basket for months now. I mean, it must be getting on for a year. It's ridiculous. And I'm sick looking at them, and I'm sick of looking at this yarn. And I think for the first time probably ever in yarn, when I finish these, I'm going to either give away or throw out this yarn because I don't like it at all. And it's not a soft sock. So I'm not loving it. Sorry, Sirdar, about Heart and Sole. I'm not loving it. Not loving it. It's 75% wool, 25% nylon, and it's just, nah, don't like it. Don't like it. That's what my kids used to say. Don't like it. So that's Cracking the Whip for next time. So next time we will have another pair of socks, or a pair of socks. So that's Cracking the Whip. Right. Acquisitions next. So my first acquisition is from Wool Warehouse. Actually, my second acquisition is from Wool Warehouse as well. But the first one is this lovely Lagoon yarn by Yarnsmiths. Look at this. Oh, look at it. Look at the colours in that. Gorgeous. Just lovely. I think it's, so the yarn is called Lagoon. This one was called something like, so it's shade 2J050. But online it was something like Kasegaluk Lagoon or something. Let's see if it says here. Oh yeah, Kasegaluk Lagoon is the colour name. So the name of the range is Lagoon, and then within the range all the colour names I've got are called something Lagoon. So this one's Kasegaluk Lagoon, and I bought 4 balls of that, which has come out at £11, so it's quite reasonable, and it's a 100-gram ball, I think. Can't see. Yes, 100-gram ball, and it's 100% acrylic. But I just love that colour, just beautiful. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this. I've been trying really hard to only buy yarn when I've got a plan for what to do with it. And I am getting better. So my next yarn is for a project, which I'll show you. So my next yarn is, again, from Wool Warehouse. And it's 10 balls of Stylecraft Special DK. Whoa! Stylecraft Special DK in white. I'm not going to get it out of the packet and show you because it's just bog standard white yarn. Now, this is for a pattern which I'll come on to later, but I've actually decided I'm going to send this back, I think, and get some cotton soft yarn instead because it's for a garment. And having made this beastie in Stylecraft Special DK, I don't think I really want a cardigan in this. I think a cardigan, because it's for a cardigan, I think a cardigan in this would be too warm for me because I get very hot, menopause. So I think having a cardigan in Stylecraft Special DK would be too hot for me. So I think I'm going to change it for King Cool Cotton Soft, which I've used in the past, which is lovely, soft, obviously, yarn with a lovely stitch definition. So I think I should have ordered that in the first place. So I'm a bit annoyed because I don't think it's free returns to Wool Warehouse. So I have to pay postage, which is irritating. But anyway, it's better that than just not using the yarn, isn't it? So, well, I think it is anyway. I'll check it out. I'll check out the return price before I send it back. And then my other yarn acquisition from, it was also Wool Warehouse, was this Drops Muscat. So it's a cotton yarn, 100% cotton, comes in 50-gram balls, and I bought it in 3 colours. I bought it in this blue, this yellow, and this white. And it's to do a bag in, which again I'll show you in a minute, and I'll show you the yarn again when I show you the bag. But it's these 3 balls, which are yeah, just lovely colours. I thought they went really nicely together, really lovely. I think they were called Bluebell. I'm making it up now, I don't know. They've just got colour numbers on them. I think this one was Bluebell something. But yeah, so those 3, that's those 3. And then my other acquisition, just bear with. So last time I showed you these 4, last time I showed you these 4 balls of Debbie Bliss Rialto DK that I got. These 4 here, which are to do, I want to do a Harlequin blanket. And I can't remember if I said before that the Harlequin blanket I want to do is by, or I don't know if it's a pattern or just a project, but it was on the Cocoa Rose Diaries, I think it was called, blog about 10 years ago, and it's been in my mind, just like needling me in my mind since then. And I bought some more colours to put in it. So this is just from eBay actually, I found it. So I think it was about £11 for 4 balls of this Sublime Baby Cashmere Merino Silk, an extra fine merino wool. I've had this before for this blanket. I've got some in my stash. So I bought these, these 4. So I've got these 4, and I don't know if you can see them all. Oh, all of them together. So they're all lovely, soft, muted colours. I'm just going to collapse them now. Oh, lovely, soft, muted colours, which is what I want for this blanket. So I will link that below the Cocoa Rose Diaries blog, so you can have a look and see what you think, and see if you think it's worth doing. I think it is. I think it's lovely. It was funny, I was saying to my friend last week, I said I've had this Harlequin blanket in my head for, about 10 years. I mean, not 10 years, maybe 8 years. But I can't remember where I saw it, so I looked on Pinterest and I just googled Harlequin blanket, couldn't find it anywhere. And then I sat down one evening and thought, right, what blogs did I read 8 years ago? And honestly, I can't remember what I had for breakfast most days, never mind what I did 8 years ago. So I had to really dig deep and managed to dredge it out of my brain that yes, it was Cocoa Rose Diaries. And luckily, when I googled Cocoa Rose Diaries, it was I think it's her very last blog post. And then her blog just stops after that, which is a shame because it was a lovely blog. I must look her up and see if she's on Instagram actually. So yeah, so inspired by her Harlequin blanket, I'm making my own, which is quite similar to hers. And I must go and get all my colours out stash to kind of see if I've got enough colours now. I think I said last time what I was doing was buying just a ball of yarn here and there for it because it's quite pricey yarn. but I spotted these 4 on eBay, which I occasionally look at for yarn, and they've come and they smell very clean. They don't smell of pets or smoke or anything, so that's fine. Right, that's all my acquisitions. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was patterns that I fancy doing. So patterns that I fancy doing, there's quite a lot of them. There's not enough time to do them all, so they probably won't get done, but they're in my brain, just a little worm in my brain, and I might get done at some point. And most of them this time are from magazines. So I said last year at some point, what I do when I've done a pattern from a magazine, I put a sticker on it. Can you see just there, that like heart-shaped, if I open it up, might be easier to see, that heart-shaped sticker just there. I put a sticker on the side of it to show that I've done a pattern from it, and then it just helps me keep track of, is it worth buying magazines or not, because I've got a really bad habit of buying the magazine and then not making anything out of it. So this time I thought I'd make a concentrated effort to actually choose something out of the magazine and make it. So out of this magazine, obviously I chose my Spring Bunny Wreath Hoppy out of this magazine. That one's done. I've then got Simply Crochet, and the pattern I want to make out of this is this lovely, well actually I don't want to make this, so let me start again, Jill. The pattern is for a jumper made of these motifs. Now I don't like the neck on that jumper, that would be far too hot for me, so I think I'm going to just make the motifs into a scarf and just have a scarf that's 2 motifs wide, or maybe even just 1 motif wide, but I thought it looked like a lovely motif. Is it going to focus? Yeah, it's really pretty, and that's in this month's Simply Crochet. So that's issue, can't read, oh the number's too small, 147. So that's that one. Then free with one of these magazines. I don't know which magazine it was with. I wonder if it tells me inside. I think it looks like it was Simply Crochet, I'm not sure, but anyway, is this Spectral Swirl jacket, and this is what I want to make in white, so it goes with everything. So you can see from this picture here that it's a kind of wave pattern, which obviously is very effective in that colour changing yarn, but I just want to do it in white. And this is the one that I'm not going to do in the Stylecraft Specialty K. I'm going to, oops, showing you a bit of the pattern there. I'm going to use the King Cole Cotton Soft for it instead. So that's that one. It's called Spectral Swirl, and there's the picture of it in front again. Spectral Swirl cardigan. So I thought that looked quite a nice one to do. And I thought if I do it in white, it'll go with everything in the summer. It'll be lovely summery. Just chuck on over a t-shirt, over a vest top. So that's that one. And then we have Inside Crochet, and this is issue number 166. And this is the cover of it here. It's a current issue. And the pattern I've picked out of this magazine is this lovely bag, the Marguerite bag. Can you see? Can you see it there? And that's what I've bought this Drops Muscat for, to do this. I did think about doing it in a different colour altogether, but I just liked the blue and yellow, and I was able to find this nice blue and yellow, which was actually reduced, I think, if memory serves me right. So it was, oh, that's the wrong invoice. Hang on. Have they sent me an invoice for that one? No, they haven't. But I think it was something ridiculous, like 80p a ball. It was really cheap because it was on reduced. And I'm saying that now, I might be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was reduced, which is why I bought it. So yes, that's that one. And then I bought this magazine, which is a kind of one-off. It says it's from the makers of Women's Weekly, and it's crochet blankets. You can see there, makers of Women's Weekly, which actually makes sense because the blanket I've picked, I remember seeing in Women's Weekly at some point, and it's this beautiful sweet pea blanket. Oh, look at the colours in that, isn't it? Just doesn't it scream spring? It's beautiful. So yeah, so I thought that'd be nice to do. And obviously I've got lots of other things on the go at the minute, so that's going to be a back burner one to make at some point in the future. It's not going to happen anytime soon. I would really like to make the cardigan soon and the bag soon. Those are the two things I'd really like to make quite soon. Anyway, then another pattern. So this Stylish Spring Essentials, King Cole Stylish Spring Essentials magazine, which I think came free with Crochet Now. It looks like their font. And I actually thought I'd make this one here. So this it's called the Golden Rays Shawl. It looks very like Virus Shawl, doesn't it? So I thought it'd be interesting to do that, to see how it's different from the Virus Shawl, but it's very similar. And it's designed by the King Cole design team. I should have told you the designers of the other one, sorry. So this one's designed by the King Cole design team. I think they all are in this book. So I'm quite intrigued to see how like the Virus Shawl this is. But yeah, so that's that one. And then I'm going to be busy, aren't I? And then this one, which is the current Crochet Now. Did I say that about another? I think I said this one was the current Crochet Now. This is issue 105. This is the last but one issue. This is the current issue 106, this one. And the pattern I've chosen from this magazine is this lovely hot water bottle cover. It's Tunisian crochet, which I have no idea how to do, so I need to learn that. So I thought that would be quite a nice learning exercise to do a bit of Tunisian. I don't really use hot water bottles though, that's the only thing, but I love the pattern. It's just plain Tunisian and then it's cross stitched on top with the flowers. So I just thought that was really, really fun. I thought it would look quite pretty, and actually the colours they've chosen, my bedroom's purple, so that would look really nice in my bedroom. So yeah, so that's the one out of that magazine. And the only other thing I wanted to mention was I had a crochet hook malfunction. So I was crocheting, what was I crocheting? I think it was my no, it wasn't my Triantan Shawl. Oh, it was my She's a Brick House top. And look at this crochet hook, can you see? It's gone right through to the metal, just there. Right through the metal. The sort of silicone grip has just kind of dissolved. So it's just from wear, from just constantly turning and turning and turning and turning and turning. It's just rubbed it away. So it's splitting right open now. So I treated myself to a new one, and that was Clover and Moor, which is what I use for all my crochet hooks. Clover and Moor. It's not focusing at all. Which is this one here. So it's the same colour. The one that wore through wasn't Clover and Moor. It was a sort of slightly more budget-friendly set that my husband bought me at one stage. I've never had that happen with the Clover and Moor before. They seem to be really good. So yeah, so that was my crochet hook malfunction, which is a bit weird, wasn't it? And that brings me to the end of everything, I think. I think I've covered everything that I wanted to talk to you about. Oh, no, one more thing. I forgot this last time, which is another book that I got. And this was a book by, did I write it down? Oh, I didn't write it down. I'm terrible for seeing things on the internet and not writing down who it's by, but this book is called Making Mandalas, and it's by Emily Littlefair, and I can't remember who she is on Instagram. Sorry, Emily. But yes, yeah, beautiful book. I think it might be self-published, I'm not sure, but it's got full colour pictures of all the mandalas. I just thought it was, oh, look at the colours in that one. It's just gorgeous. Isn't it beautiful? Just really lovely. All stunning. I mean, look at that little one, little pot cover. Oh, I think I'll show you without showing you. Really cute. So yeah, lovely book. So I recommend that one. 27 crochet designs to get your hooks into, and it's all in UK terms. And it's just, yeah, a lovely book. I think it's just lovely. Abundance, appreciation. They're all called like I want to say they're all nouns, but that can be anything. They're all like well, I'll read you out what they're called. They're called abundance, appreciation, awareness, balance, comfort, dedication. What's that one? Excitement. That's a nice one. Look at that. Oh, I can't wait to do one of these. So yeah, that's getting me excited to do those now. So that's a nice book, so I recommend getting that. And that brings us to the end of everything, really. So I think I've done quite well today. That's probably about 45 minutes, which is not too bad. Before I go, I want to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to go and click on the subscribe button below so that you get to see all my future videos. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you're new, thanks for sticking with me and giving me a try. And if you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. And I hope you still enjoyed it today. And with that, I will say goodbye. And I hope you have lots of lovely crafting time until I see you again next time. Bye.